good friend, Mr. Sushil Sahu, they were other Bandhu, our Kantor of Sahayatare, most hard to buy country, is hard to present the Dr. Secretary. It is a Bandhu, our Sushil Sahayatare, we are so happy and getting him as such a brilliant person to be a resource of the study scientific session. And now I like to request her to light the lamp before we start the session. And our principal madam and Umasa, and Apana, to please join it to light the lamp. And, my friend and brother Rakesh Babu also, please come. Rakesh Babu, please.
हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परात्परगुरुभ्यो नमः परमश्री गुरुभ्यो नमः ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ओम हिरण्यवर्णहरणं सुवर्णरजतस्या चन्द्रा हिरण्यमयलक्ष्मी जातवेदमहावः ओम सहस्रशीर्षपुरुषः सहस्राख्यसहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतः अत्यतिष्ठरसाङ्गुलम् यन्मायः शरति विश्वम् अखिलं देवादिदेवग्रहः यत्सत्कालनिषधादिशरौरज्जुहि नमः नानापुराणनिगमागम्यं रामायणे विरचितं शान्ततुलसीदाशं शठापाशाविवन्दते ओम कलाचिकालं वितरविविधसङ्गीतसरवो मृदाधीरनारी पदकमलस्फाटकरूपः रमाशम्भुब्रह्ममरक्तिर्गते स्थितपदो ओ जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे नमस्ते प्रभु जगन्नाथ अनाथलोकं करुणाथ नमस्ते प्रभु वासुदेव भगवतं कमन्धव सतीरूपतिं करमाणे निजर स्वामी हन्ति जन्मे श्री प्रकारे मोराना कोठारे रघु भगवान हम सर्वे भक्तुनिया सर्वे संतुल्याय सर्वे भक्तानि वत्सलो नागे सिद्धवाधरे ओम तमशोमा भूमि देवदेगमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतमय अष्टोमा सत्तमय ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Thank you, Mr. Bharti. Now I would like to request our faculty member, Mr. Ashish Kumar Sahu, to introduce our research partner and guest of this. Then after we will continue this presentation and listen to the presentation by our research. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Good morning, all of you, and welcome to another challenging day of this faculty development program. As you know that one of the most impactful decisions in this decade is the introduction of new education policy, and it has some significant changes. And to have a better understanding of it, we need to have a deep insight of it, and to give us that, we have the best person with us. Dear delegates and faculty members, it is my immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished resource person, Dr. Gunamani Jana, an eminent academician, researcher, administrator with over 2 decades of experience in engineering, education, research, and academic leadership. Dr. Jana earned his bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Institute of Engineers, India, his master's degree in computer science and engineering from Regional Engineering College, Rawalpindi, and his PhD in computer science and engineering. Throughout his illustrious career, he has served in several prestigious institutions as assistant professor, associate professor, and professor, and head of department. Principal and Director of Research and Development. He is currently serving as the principal of Roland Institute of Technology, Baramur. His research interests include signal and image processing, wavelet transform, artificial neural networks, and deep learning. Dr. Chenna has published over 50 research papers in reputed national and international journals and conferences, authored 4 books, hold 9 patents, has successfully guided 4 PhD scholars, and currently supervising many doctoral researchers. A fellow of Institution of Engineers India, a senior member of IEEE, and a life member of ISCE, as well as a member of CSI. Dr. Chana has made significant contribution to academia through his leadership in accreditation, curriculum development, and faculty development. He has delivered invited lectures and keynote sessions at national and international conferences and faculty development programs in India and abroad, including the United States, Spain, Singapore, Dubai, and Ethiopia. He has also played a pivotal role in securing NAC and NBA accreditation, coordinating IIT Bombay, ICT initiatives, and establishing NPTEL and spoken tutorial centers for South Odisha. Today, we are privileged to have such an accomplished academician with us to share his expertise. I am confident that this session will provide valuable insights and inspire all the participants. Dear delegates and faculty members, please join me in extending a warm welcome to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Punamani Jain. Now, I request Dr. Jain to start the session.
Very good morning, you all. The esteemed principal of this prestigious Royal Academy, the honorable management members, the organizing committee, faculty members of this institute, other delegates, invited guests present here. At the outset, I want to thank you all. I do not know. I am into this chamber because my career and everything is in engineering and specifically it is in computer science. Of course, up to degree level I studied civil engineering. But I want to thank you that you consider me that something I can say having my experience and expertise will be useful to pharmaceutical discipline. So I am privileged and happy to be part of this development program. It is recognized DCI Faculty Development Program recognized by DCI and the top yesterday we started with the field development program. What I thought, what I mean is faculty development program. It is just like there is something teaching the teachers. It is not. because you are expert in your domain, you are an officer, you are with a lot of competition in your domain. So it is not an easy task. You and which will match the frequency and fit into the field. In this National Education Policy, NEP 2020, the important things are covered there. One is the technology as a tool in any discipline, it is engineering, it is medical, it is science, anywhere. And another is the skill set. For the third point, what we are ignoring, ethics. Without this P, it is not balanced, imbalanced. And we divided the entire things into four documents here. But fourth one has been sharing with Professor to share with you some of you are the document in the grid. This really the first one will be the topic I have given. I want to you transferring pharmaceutical education through Indian knowledge system and artificial intelligence, the NEP 2020 perspective. Most of us we assume that and we are convinced that most of the research what is contributed to the growth is only from the western side, maybe it is from Europe, maybe from America, because this is the information given to us through history, through various books, through social media, and we are more inclined to the Western education and all the things. And we easily accept things because whatever the vision was, what our people developed, what we contributed, we have successfully followed for the last hundreds of years, maybe 400, 500 years. So it is successfully implanted in your mind. Whatever the things we see, it is a discovery, it is an invention, all things only contributed by people, we are only consumer. Means we have a negligible contribution to research, negligible contribution to science and technology. We are only with a big market for the European and American countries. Only they see us as a consumer. And also we are doing. See, I will be talking to our students, delegates. We are in a remote place of India, that is Odisha, and in the remote place of district Ganjan, and some places like here. All these automobile, all these mobile, which are manufactured either in Taiwan, in USA, or in China, they will take the money from our bedroom, from our pocket. Do we have any technology that we can take money from USA? That means we can make a product which the American people will purchase and the brand name will be is made in India. The first time will be there. They will be interested to purchase things from India. It is possible. It is there also. But for decades, for centuries, we were deprived of that term. We are given a different type of education which was designed by Europeans. I remember that 1835 that national education will be there because we will be going for that. Outcome-based education, definitely we will be having idea about that. How of that education and why we suffer from that one. Perspective aligned to Any 2020, is there any other education policy in India, or is it the brand new, and how many policies are there? And what is the result? So all the things will have a glimpse, I understand. And just for you, I'm talking for 1 hour. I have the other players and works in my institution. Some equipment is going on. So in this 1 hour, I have to cover all the things. So in this bachelor's education policy, what they designed, the giving the priority that I have to, the Britishers have created a colonial mindset. These people will be Indian by blood and color. And all their culture, mindset, everything will be the Britishers. And the government is supporting group. They are not supporting their administration. They have to support in their school functioning. So, where comes innovation, where comes research. So, if the British was entered in 1600 to 1947, so definitely 350 years. We are only struggling to learn English, speak English. Even if two people are from Eastern 70 places, but while we are traveling outside, we feel privileged that we talk in English and we go here. See, in this slide, we are covering something communication. Important. Not necessarily the meaning of communication is only speaking English. Whatever you want to communicate, if you can convince, if you can communicate to a person belonging to other branch and other domain, and you understand, I think that is the best communication. The medium English, the Oriya, so that's not important. So I think that somebody is fluent speaker in English or any foreign languages does not mean that he is a knowledgeable person and he knows everything. It is not like that. So what is your research? What is your contribution? What is your expansion? If you are able to explain to a common man, other discipline, then I think you are a good communicator. No other certificate is required for you. No expertise in other language is required for you. That is the second part we will. Now, I don't know what is how to use. Can I have this? Can I have my laptop because the said, the first 10 minutes I will take you explain this in the NEP 2020 perspective. And if you sit here, this is very less, even if in absence of our Kintab, just I need my laptop. Thank you. You can start that. Okay. So in this diagram, what we have just seen, I'm just trying to take it down now. Starting from the left hand side, you will find that is the colonial legacy which started in 1835. That everybody understand that is markless paradigm. Paradigm is something which is not a new one. It is existing. Education system is not new to us. We had great universities, the scholars from different countries. 15 to 18 countries students used to study in Nalanda and other places. So education, research was not a new thing. Structural culture is a paradigm. It was existing. We missed out. We are going to our. Then we see now we are in the year 2026, and after 6 years because national education policy was there in 2020. And it has taken 6 years to reach us for great implementation. What is this? No issue that what is convenient with the result. Okay, sir, I think it's visible then. Just to start. You go to the pharmacy folder. You search the folder of pharmacy. You could have copied that folder, sir. Anyway, in the meantime, because there are no more pictures, we can continue, let them try. In the perspective of our national education policy and the education scenario in India, we are producing some millions of STEM graduates. STEM means you understand science, technology, engineering, medicine, it is covering the entire pharmaceutical and medical sciences. So this number of graduates we are producing per year, sometimes it is more than the population of small countries. Then you can understand where we stand. The number of STEM graduates we are producing a year, sometimes it is more than the population of small countries in Europe. But you know the employability in our country and especially in some IIT, NIT, except that one, and University of National Independence, 20 to 25, hardly 30% of people are employed. So where we lag, where we stand, and why these things happen. And then what is the key difference between the education system here in India and the education system there in Western countries and Europe, sorry, and America? The thing is that we focus on quantitative. How many number of graduates are there? What is their intake? And we have seen the first education policy we were there, I think in the year of 1968, that we also cover by the then Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi. The importance was given education for all should come for this education, the dropout and everything should be taken care. So without bothering the quality of the education for all. That's the thing there. Then the second education policy during Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, then Prime Minister, 1986. There he put more stress on this 10 plus 2 plus 3, that is the new structure, and he wanted to finish the barrier that some group of people getting good education, some people are not getting. So everything should be like a 10 plus 2 plus 3, and it was centralized like the CBSE, ICSE, or the state government pattern were there. But still, we found what was expected to be achieved, it was not achieved. Because even if we didn't change that one and focused on the education to communities, irrespective of creed, gender, and irrespective of the community like school class, free child, and women. So this barrier they try to remove. But quality of education was a question mark then. That is the reason, even if after 75 years of independence, we are unable to achieve that thing what the advanced country they already achieved. What are there? The American system focuses on creativity, practical learning, while the Indian system emphasizes on rigor and exam based. For students, which are strictly exam oriented, and once the exam is over, they have nothing to do with that education. But actual education is that when the exam is over, and without the certificate, what you remember, what you can apply, and what you can contribute to the society, that is called actual education.
That never happens here. Then the NEP 2020 it promotes skill-based, flexible, technology-driven, replacing the rote method. Rote method means get it by heart, just reproducing in the exam. So I got 9.8 CGP, somebody got 10 CGP, somebody got 9.9995. So these are the things. Better I focused on this experimental education. So please change the slide if somebody wants it. I, I, Then I was focusing on this markless education policy. It was there in 1835. They wanted to totally stop that Sanskrit learning, traditional Sanskrit and also Arabic learning. Why it was so important? If you remember that 1857, that simple meeting was there. Yeah, past independence struggle. They named it because according to their political knowledge, they put it that it was a revolt by the people. What they tried to explore the number of ton of iron used and the money what was spent there, where it came, who was giving, and why he was giving. They made a concern, they tried to find out all the things. They found it was contributed by farmers, small industry people, business people, they contributed. They thought that there is a lot of money there, the money that good to do all the things, activities. And when you want to spoil a lesson, just to spoil the education system, you have nothing to do. If you want to spoil a lesson, all the education system, and we are in the verge of that. See, for the last 75 years after independence, what we achieved? Why, you see, there are so many researchers and people are here. For engineering, we think IEEE, Rajasthan is a great population, and some others also there. If you take statistics in 2025-26, what is the percentage of IEEE transactions published by Indians in comparison to other nations? Negligible, it is single digit. And most of the populations are either from the IITs, Bangalore, or some of the IITs, some of the NITs, not all. Why it is happening? Why we are unable to do? Because we have never emphasized on the innovation and the research oriented skills. We still believe that out of 10, somebody gets 10 or 9.5, the elect achievement, that is level of job. That's the thing. So this was because of this what the plan, the market education, it was result of that. So here I have shown some statistics where you can right there. I think that's not important at this moment. Now I want to rediscover this Indian knowledge system because what I want to say you that what is the pharmaceutical things going on around the globe, what we are doing, and what the things already contributed by our people. Whether we are new to this pharmaceutical or already we knew this thing and in the course of time we successfully forgot or we are not informed and there is no proper documentation what are their contribution. I will start with this local here because I found a very good start here by chanting the divine standards from this Bhagavad Gita and other things to start here. I was very much impressed because very function, if you start with that one, definitely we get a blessing from the Almighty and get connected to the infinity and the pure knowledge. Thank you for chanting. I think some professor has done a great job. So now you can send the slide. See here, I do not know things that will lead to the paper, but let me start with something here. You can see the Bhagavad Gita, that is 4, and 4.3 stanza 30. Something is written there. Nahi ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्र विद्यते तत्स्वयं योग संस्कृति कायनात मणि विद्यते. Recently, we had a DP in BQ Kerala for minimum 8 number of diseases and some resource person including a professor from Jagannath Sanskrit University, white professor in Rishi also. We assembled there and focus was on this Indian knowledge system. And about the subject we are dealing, if you try to establish a link between the Indian knowledge system, we will be astonished that we do not know till now a number of contributions is by their science or research and all the things that. It is just like rediscovering that one. The meaning is that you can everybody have read Gita and they will be understanding the literal meaning of that one. And to say something different. Nahi Jnana Satusha Pavitra. So other than this Jnana or this pure knowledge, no other better things are available in the universe, in the globe, on the globe. Is it the true meaning? Everybody is learned here. Everybody is having a pharma or a or a PhD or pursuing PhD. Then is it that all we are learned people, all we are having pure knowledge? No. That jnana, whatever it is defined, that is not the jnana we are getting from these teachers, from our course, from these lovers. It is just like Atma Jnana, Tattva Jnana, or Paramatma Jnana. Things are there. So nothing better than this in this universe. Nahi Jnana Satyam, Pavitra Miha Vidyate, Tatswayam Yoga Samsiddhi Kayanat Muhilinga. What is the meaning of the second one? Tatswayam Yoga Samsiddhi. Yoga Sadhana Abhyasa. Yoga Sadhana Abhyasa. We can be connected to the pure knowledge. In course of time, we don't need any extra teacher to teach. Who taught the first saint? Who taught the first sadhu? Who taught the first guru? What practice na pronouns and protect your practice na the Prathama Bandya produce the God of the Asadi. Can anybody define and tell me what are his basic values and his strategies, basic pattern, or step pattern? Who was his guru? Who taught him education? So they were connected because of this Tatswayam Yoga Samsiddhi, Yoga Abhyasa Purvaka. When they get connected to these things, then what happens? Karana Lingandi. Then our Antakaran are there. We can visualize all things. We get connected to the infinity and it works. What are the formal education we are getting here? That is only has nothing to do. Let's see here. This is related to Patraka. Vidya Dadati Vinayam, Vinaya Yati Patrakan, Patrakan Dhanavapnati, Dhanadhanam. This word, I'm forgetting, I'm only missing one. Vidya Dadati Vinayam, Vinaya Yati Patrakan. Something like that in the police assembly. When people with 90% above in BJP college, Odisha's top college, people are getting failed. When a student got 90% in 10, he get failed in intermediate science or plus two science in BJP college. Is that a problem with the student? The student cannot get 90%, 95% by practice. And the faculty who are there, they are written books that is India and Thai. Then there is absolutely no problem with the students, no problem with the faculty also, and no problem with the environment and infrastructure. They are very the problems. Within 24 hours, all these disease institutions have to meet the explanation so that the system has to explain there. See, the problem is that Patrana, Vidya Dadati, जो विद्या द्वारा ज्ञान भाव प्राप्त होना है, विद्या ना आपको किस काम में सकते, ना आपको परिवार में किस काम में सकते, ना सोसाइटी में किस काम में सकते. Vidya Dadati ज्ञान, Vinaya Yadri. So you get that candidate. Patrakan Dhanapati, a good candidate easily can earn money. Dhana Dharma Patrasula. Dharma Achane, Pati Dharma Dharma Lichudi, Amana Mother. Dharma Achane, Dharma Pati Dharma Dharma. The second standard, second sloka also I am giving to you. Go through that one. Then the third one I am going to explain because I am connecting to the Indian knowledge system. The purpose is not teach you on pharmaceutical, but that the last PPT I will try to connect because I'm not expert in that domain. Something what I collected from the social media and other things that only I will present for you. नास्ति बुद्धि अयुक्तस्य न च युक्तस्य भावना न च भावस्य शांति अशांतस्य कुतो सुखम. So what we are doing, the knowledge right to understand. Nasti buddhi avyuktasya, who is not connected to the pure knowledge, we believe what is pure knowledge. Purna jnana, shuddha jnana, so it is infinity. So sarvas, singing the stanza, dead is telling, Purnamada, Purnamida. So Purna is infinity. If you subtract infinity from infinity, again it is infinity. Purnamada, Purna. Purna में गाड़ी पूर्णा पुन्हा पुन्हा मुद्दे से इतने टू इतने पेडल आवर इतने इतने गैराज इस पुनर्वार का आत्मवार का परमात्मवार आत्मा जो आत्मज्ञान भाई अपने चेष्टा करूँगी already they have understood they have done the practice is not that something they collected from the internet presented in front of you. नास्ति बुद्धि अयुक्त से who is not connected निश्चय उनका बुद्धि है नहीं बुद्धि पर 50% बुद्धि আছে বুদ্ধি টিকে যদি করি আছে that is not নিশ্চয় বুদ্ধি নাস্তি বুদ্ধি অযুক্তस्य নচা যুক্ত স্বভাব তার নিশ্চয় का बुद्धि है नहीं वास्तविक बुद्धि है नहीं अपना भी शुद्ध हो गए नच भाव का शांति भावना शुद्ध ही नहीं शांति मिलवा बहुत कठिन संभव अशांत से कुछ सुख जार मन शांत हो नहीं स्थिर हो नहीं सुख मिलेगा संभव हो दुनिया में समस्त सुख रहता है किसी का भाव भी वो गुड क्वालिफिकेशन पर गुड जॉब पाएगा तो नो सब सुख आएगा और बिल्डिंग का तरफ से सुख आएगा और पीएमडब्ल्यू का टेक्नीशियन पर सुख आएगा गुड फैमिली लाइफ पर सुख आएगा इलाज हायर क्वालिफिकेशन गुड जॉब पाएगा सुख आएगा we part of this day we go on searching for this happiness from our life we never get it because we not that outside. So to follow all this path, respect by and told by only Lord Krishna and the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Who can get Sadhavan Labate Jnanam Tatpara Sanjatendriya Jnana Labdha Parakshakti Patrina Devachati. ज्ञान ପାଇଁ ଯେ ଶ୍ରଦ୍ଧା ପୂର୍ବକ ଅବିରତ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିକି ଗୁରୁ ପରମ୍ପରାରେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ପଚାରିକି ଆନ୍ସର କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଶ୍ରଦ୍ଧାବାନ ଭବ ସେଇମାନେ ଜ୍ଞାନ ଜ୍ଞାନ ତତ୍ପରମ୍ ସଞ୍ଜତେନ୍ଦ୍ରିୟ ଇନ୍ଦ୍ରିୟ ସଂଯତ ପୂର୍ବକ ଇନ୍ଦ୍ରିୟମାନଙ୍କର ରାଜା ହେଉଛି ମନ ମନକୁ ସ୍ଥିର କରି ଜ୍ଞାନ ଲବ୍ଧା ପରାକ୍ରମତି ଏହି ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଜ୍ଞାନ ଏବଂ pure knowledge ऐसा है अपने शांति से को शांति का संपादन करते हैं if I remember star asked me professor the results contact me so little aligned this part I know it is not matching the domain so 10 minutes have to speak on these things already happened. So the purpose of human life is not the materialistic education what you are getting. It is part of that one. We also need this knowledge to earn our livelihood. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, these are the four great goals of life. And Dharma, whatever we say, this is the foundation of the Vedic counseling or the Dharmic counseling. It is there. किंतु मुनीष माने बहुत चेष्टा करते हैं साधारण एग्जाम को बहुत से प्रोफेसर से भी staying in the society, doing the general we can also practice dharma. So, pollution they अपन बोले कभी, हमें जितने लोग परिवार लोगों को परिवार पीढ़ियाँ में जाओ नहीं, से ओजन करूची काकुड़ी गोटे किले आ गोटे अधिका पानी होउची दीटा पानी होउची कि न बालांस एपट ओजन काकुड़ी दीटा समान ही जाची तथापि से आ गोटे रे बढी होउची नो दैट इज द लॉस टू or he know it is the loss to him but he is thinking that should not be cheating from my side whatever I am learning that is not practicing dharma and dharma 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 so मुझे इसमें और ही दीर्घ शोधन करें अवस्था करें जाने को पहले जे शरीरम आद्यम फलधर्म साधन यदि मनुष्य शरीर रे महाकार्य यदि स्टेबल रहइबो रहइबो अन्य प्रकार धर्म को पाइबा चेष्टा करबो पड़िबो so more importance is given on the physical and psychological health and the well-being हमें जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑप्शन भी आपने जो डिजिटल प्रैक्टिस प्रोग्राम भी डेफिनेटली फार्मास्यूटिकल and we are more concerned about the physical and psychological health and the well-being. Yes. So we have a glance on these things, what our education policy already told, to achieve from this new or national education policy. The first education policy, it was outdated. The education, what are there? It was a road-based learning, and it is just exam-oriented, and it was only the teacher centric. Whatever the teacher wanted to speak, that only he speak. So it was not multidisciplinary, it was not skill oriented or focused. In NEP 2020, the aim to overall the education system to be more inclusive, flexible, and skill oriented. So it more emphasizes on this native knowledge system or the Indian knowledge system. The main theme is the Indian race. You talk about the made in India, we talk about how people had contributed in the past, and we have contributed and we know all the things. So three things are important here. One is the technology, second one the skill set, the third important thing is the ethics. See, technology there in America, skill set is there, but it is only selling their weapons, that is also become further. So even if technology is there, skill set is there, it is not helping the society, it is not helping the mankind. If it is really doing, then I can be, the war will not be there, and there is no, the Zelensky and Putin, what they are doing, the system will not be there. So for this, we focus on these 5 C's, that is communication, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking. So instead of citizenship, we talk about the character. When I come to the ethics, we more focus on this curiosity and character. Communication, I told you that, is not exactly expertise in a particular language and becoming a orator and speaking something. It is the domain you belong. It is the innovation you do, or what is the research finding you do. If you are able to convince the people of other domain, then in my opinion, he is a good communicator. Then those are gone. I can do everything. It is a collaborative. This may be the medical people they are working with. Recently, I had one request from a medical engineer, medical college that is he also belongs to government. Dr. Acharya, another Acharya. He is presently the principal and dean of King's Medical College in Amlapuram, East Godavari district. He told me, Professor Dana, you please develop a software for me that to waste things what I am going to. So let it be plastic, let it be used injection, syringe and all things. So by scanning or by putting a color, it can be disposed to something like that green, something like to red, something like that yellow. So it's something like the plastic and other things to dispose to some green, with the waste material, all these we are taking the sites, etc., the injection, needles, etc. So all the things. Then what I thought, where I stop, I cannot develop a mobile based things because for that another thing is required for that one, acquisition sensors and all things. I told, I not only told, I have developed a software for me, meaning that you have to select the color. If it is plastic or related things, then you have to select the color with automatically it will be there. So that's what I is telling me. My purpose of telling these things here, even if you are in pharmaceutical part, somebody in the medical part, somebody in different branch of engineering, somebody in mechanical engineer, somebody in computer science engineer, multidisciplinary or working in collaboration is more important now. Giving importance to it. That is the collaboration. Then the creativity and innovation is more important nowadays. Because our previous education, it was rote based, memorizing something, and reproducing the same thing in the exam. How many of you knowing that the education system in Russia? I do not know. There is no question of any written exam system there. A student will interview for 3 hours in front of we are having, if you know, we are having some conference in Dhaka at the end of 1 year of a semester. Conference is higher, it is not properly done. But in IIT, they do it properly. One expert will come from IITs, and all the subject expert of that institution will be there. They go on asking questions to the students for 10 to 15 minutes. That we call that the conference buyer. So it is not only the writing skill, the communication skill, the subject domain of that student is also trusted, very bad. So that entire education system in USSR, it is purely on oral basis. You have to face to sit and answer the questions. There is no question of malpracticing or writing the answers in the blackboard or using all the modern technology to help the students in malpractice. Now, the education policy, what I told you that 1968, many key features were there. It was proposed by the Kothari Commission. If you remember, 64 to 66, the main objective there, up to the age of 14, is free education to all. Some states were benefited, like the achieve 100% literacy. Some other states also achieve. Some people could not do that. And this is according to Article 45 of the Indian Constitution. Education is somebody's birthright. You cannot discriminate based on the caste, creed, color, or the religion. Then the three language formula they told it. First one is the regional language, then the Hindi, third one English. So we also tried that thing. I think most of the states they tried, some of the Indian states. Then equal opportunity and science and research. The last one, that science and research, it was there from himself. The actual purpose of that was not met. Then coming to the second national policy of education, that is LP, here is LP, that is LP. It was in 1986 and introduced by the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. He found that implementing the education system, the officers and higher officers were children going to some royal college, pharmaceutical engineering college, other people will be going to engineering college or other standard colleges. Then there is a different system. Some people going for CSE pattern, some people going for this one. They wanted to introduce the national standard 2 plus 3. 10 years student has to do in the school level, plus to intermediate level, and see the degree level. Then one operation was started there and the operation blackboard. So to some extent it was okay. Then the inclusive education like education to women, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, minorities, communities, and also focusing on urban literacy. As a result, we find just like the IGNOU, Indira Gandhi National Open University, even most states are giving on computer education that time. Also, it has had some good results. whatever the computer advancement we find nowadays, the contribution of Rajiv Gandhi. Then the new National Education Policy 2020. So here they giving more importance three things I told you that. One is the technology, no doubt. Second one, the skill oriented there. Third one, the putting stress on the ethics. Here also they made some curriculum change. 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. In the age of 3, some student has to enter the first 3 years at the preschool, the remaining 3 years, then 3 years preparatory, like that they designed. And the put some flexibility. The rigid separation between the science, commerce, arts, some other things that are established. So people can learn and they can collaborate study. And the language policies were there. Then up to the primary education, the language should be strictly the regional language. The people should love that language, they should learn that language, it should be mandatory for all. So these are the things under higher education revamp. So now the students are having ABC, like academic bank of multiple entrant exit and having certificate. After first year, you will have a certificate. Second year, you will have a diploma certificate. And third year, you will get a degree and fourth, something like that. They already planned it there. That means the student can move on the skill based and vocational education. He can complete 1 year and go for working after 1 year. He can join here because that is not there. This multiple entry and exit is there, and also paving the way to top 10 university. You see, the key difference between our education system, I told you that we are going for the and we want to be exam oriented. But maximum number of research, innovation, and you see the top universities in India, in the world. Your IIT is not coming in the top 100. Which IIT, this is very difficult for a student to crack IIT. That is not even coming in the 100 rank. So Karnataka University, Stanford University, WITS. So all these universities coming in the top 10. None of the Indian universities coming in the top 10 and top 20 PDC. Then another important thing is they focused on this holistic education. This holistic education means it is not only the academic part, we also focus on like the sports and the all-round development of the child, the critical thinking leading to innovation, emotional intelligence, and the real world problem solving skills. So they focus on these things, not the road-based education and getting 9.8, 9.9. Other pillars are there, the multidisciplinary curriculum, experimental learning, integration of life skills, and also values and ethics, which are important. Because if you see, the Gurukul system existed in India. A child was going to a Guru ashram. Even if he belongs to a king's son or king's daughter, they used to go there. You see, Ram also has gone, Vasishtha, and also Krishna has gone, Sandipani ashram. So his father was a king and he could have brought so many professors of the gurus and appointed in his house for tuition coaching. They never had that system because it is not that because of money, because of the thing was that they wanted a child should be self-sufficient. He has to interact with the real world. He has to work with that one. He has to understand the problem, and he should be confident before stepping into the real world. Okay, that are the. So when the Britishers abolished that one, then the program started with us, and the pedagogy plus 4, a child has to enter at the age of 3, 3 to the upper level, that is place conducting learning and also language subject-based learning. Secondary, that multidisciplinary study with the critical thinking, innovation starts here. These are things I can skip, not so important. Now, we go to our domain, that is the ancient pharmacy. You see, our forefather knew all the things that we we know what you say, it is discovered now, it is the contribution by using not our people also knew that. And this antibiotic and also the painkiller, before 49,000 years also people here in India they knew it. Upon man ko modor katha kali, I belong to that's good, this is just good. There, some people practice medicine in the name of Lord Shiva. That medicine, there is no single case of failure for curing that antibiotic. And even if not a single thing for that one, and I am giving a tip. So the medicine are there only, no expenditure required from our side. From our side, Dudra, totally, medicine is used, the seeds of rubber, details I cannot say because one person from our reason they are doing that. It is restricted. So you tell me, and when I visited Singapore, I found some people are also using their medicine for different purposes. Harabanga was the same, ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ ହାଡ଼ ଭାଙ୍ଗି ଏତେ କିଛି ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ 3 months automatically will cure not some medicine that is ଗୋଟେ ବାନ୍ଧି ଦଉଥିଲେ 3 ମାସ 4 ମାସ ଭିତରେ automatically you tell me this is the Indian knowledge system exists here. Upon you may be taking a joke. Some people will be knowing the Lakshman Mr. Vigan. Lakshman Mr. was a SP, and there are 2 volumes of books. Lakshman Mr. He has studied all these things practiced here locally. I found that long back in maybe the year of 1800 or 90s. So there is not a single disease for that medicine is not there. Some cases they are written, I have practiced 100%. So then what is the great thing that entire medicine is contributed by the Western and the American system? What like that? Here for the heart condition, so this is the medicinal herb. Keep this inside. Next. Yeah, next. So this is the herb, better you can understand. This is used for the heart conditions. So this knowledge we have. Next. So if you know the Charak and Sushruta, and especially the Sushruta Samhita is there, if anybody want, I can share. So it is before 1500 to 1000 BC, and everything is written, and the survival text contains description of 1120 illness and 700 medical or medicinal plants, including safety, efficacy, dosage, and benefit. So we are no less than others. So there was a dialogue, Professor College was there. One person was claiming he is not recognized person in the DC of some university. University, what is that? University? Some of us initially. The dialogue was there. मैं खुदा नहीं हूँ, और खुदा कसम मैं खुदा से कम नहीं हूँ. So it was like that time. I don't know if you answer here or not. भगवान है, किंतु खुदा की कसम मैं भगवान से कम नहीं हूँ. Things are there. Our knowledge system and our contribution to the world health was not less, but we have forgotten. Through education, through innovation, through research, people are reminding us, and we will be reminding our students, yes, we also existed there, and we had a lot of contribution to the world health. Next. And people will be knowing this. Charak. Sushruta, I think it is known for the surgery, and the Charak was there for the medicine. So you will be knowing better than me because I am not in this domain. So next. So these things will cover next. You can see an ancient Indian knowledge system. A man is collecting the medicines, etc. outside, and these are the medicines. Yeah, these are the medicines which is by our pharmaceutical unit in India. contributed. I do not know this is the data collected from internet because it is existing there. All of you will agree. In 1972, what we did in 1976, it is there up to 2014. So this is there. Our Indian pharmaceutical people, you people have done this. So here you find some ancient Indian medicine. It is done here. So this is the first part of our things what I wanted to communicate you. The second part I am going. You can keep this one and go for the second one. AI, better you go for AI that AI. Oh, application of AI in pharmacy. I do not know if you ask questions, I am able to answer here, but I will be presenting these things to you. And application of AI in pharmacy. This is the part of the FTP, what which was assigned. So I do not know I will be able to contribute to the field of pharmacy, but how I prepare these documents using the AI tools that I will do. And here you can find there are some 20 number of slides, 10 number of sections, and it is in 2026. So it is there for this thing. In this presentation agenda, that is the teaching pedagogy, AI as a pedagogical tool, basic research in AI and drug discovery, then the advanced research, and applied AI in practice, ethics and regulations and future. So these are the presentations for your kind information. This is the out of box. I'll be telling you something. In engineering practice, when we do some research, at the end of the day, we want a publication or some patent to be there. Otherwise, the work we have done that is unnoticed, unrecognized. Even if you get a DSC project, unless a product comes or some patent is published or a publication is there, then work is incomplete. So in this process, I got the opportunity in my previous college, that is British Engineering College, British Godavari District, maybe it is coming under the JNTU, Jawaharlal Technological University. Now, after this AICT, I got PhD project. The cost of the project was initially 1 crore 10 lakh, but because of some constraint, they restricted it to 55 lakh. The project was like this, that I have to use the sea water or any salted water, even the urine of a man. I have to make a battery of that one, and the fishermen who are entering to the deep sea, they will stay there for days, months sometimes also. They cannot purchase any battery there because inside the deep sea there will be no stop, there is no delivery by any way to get the battery and other things. They can use the sea water to make battery, so it will be used as a quantum or something like that. So this also, it is not my personal contribution. I have been to NTU, Nanyang Technological Universities, that is in Singapore. That is a good university, and they are accepting our GATE candidate who qualify GATE exam here. They can study there with scholarship of Government of India and scholarship of Singapore government also. And professors from Odisha, especially from Baranpur, Ganja, Jagdish Chakra was basically one electronics professor in is there. I this time there are I don't know. I'm talking this before this corona, maybe 98. It is 2018 19. It is 1890, just before the corona, I missed it. There one lady, one researcher from Africa. She is presenting that the people in the top hills and mountains of Africa, South Africa, there is no electricity until now. Don't assume that we are having electricity, you are sitting in AC hall, this AC, it is the till now they do not know electricity existing and people have to have a room with all these furnitures and electricity. But what they did, she told that they use this salt, they dilute the salt and put some electrode and then it series connection. They are going to generate 5 volts. From this 5 volt, they are going to have a light. That means the whole night they can, even if here there's some natural calamity there, and also where the Malika is there, it will be totally bad. The power will not provide internet in this and that. I don't know. That can be the automatic source of energy. At least for lighting the lamp instead of that. Because no external things is required and no much sophisticated things is required. This salt water or add some tablespoon of salt in a glass of water, which is 6 connection, or nothing is there, usually urine or urine that you can light and you can do. Because we basically are science students, we can better understand these things. When I given a proposal this thing to there to the legislature, they were impressed and clearly told that it is not my idea. I got this idea from a lady researcher while I was presenting a paper in ITT conclave in NT, Nottingham Technological University there. So based on that, I did some research and published a paper and I tried to do this and we are successful. We did it. I do not know because 2024 I left that institute because it was a BSc SCST plan, SCST plan. So by default, the principal investigator not much to study. So my colleague, my junior, I put in as the principal investigator and the co-investigator because it was not open for general category, but co-investigator can be religion. That is the thing of our government. So my question is that this thing, what we are trying to do, it is coming under the innovation, it is also coming under the research, and our people can very much do that. But the system we are getting acquainted, that is only making our students will get exam oriented. What they are writing the exam, if you interact with the parents, then only that for 3-4 years they should get a good job. That is the only purpose that sending the children here. If successfully after completion they are getting a job actually, so the least bother about the GDP, the least bother about the other problem of the society, and everybody is expecting what the government, what the society will contribute to me, what I will contribute to the society, not others not. So fine. So this tool, what I use, 2-3 tools are there, most of people will use it. Suppose you want to develop a software and you do not know anything, nothing to worry, because in this world there is nothing to worry, there is a story. Time for some other time I will tell you. Even when some people will be laughing, say there is a joke regarding this world, there is nothing to worry. There we have a number of tools which you can use for the teaching purpose. One of the tools is that scientifically different versions are there. You write some query, it is giving answer, it is referring to all the AI contents available. Sometimes it is given bed, sometimes it is free. What you want to develop is not. You are having alternate tools like Claude, CLAUDE. You are having Meta, META like that. Just to write the prompt engineering. And for writing the prompt engineering, don't worry. Use the ChatGPT for writing a prompt engineering there. What exactly you want? I want a software system that should be using SDML, and JavaScript, or something using MySQL, and to develop. Say for example, I want a leave system in any institution. There are different leaves. A faculty or a staff has to apply leave. It is to be approved by or provided by the faculty department, and it is to be approved by the principal. And in the meantime, things have to be checked whether he is having helix there, here or like that. So you define my number of years is built in, my number of years is there, my number of academic is there, all these define. And my constant is that when somebody applies the leave, so it is has to come to the header department. The header department will check and forward to the principal, and finally it will come to the principal. There is no need to come to the before the condition that he or she has to adjust his or her class. That is whether I adjusted my class to professor, somebody like that. So this is the paperless and it can be done. If you want to do this one, you have to start from 1 week. So in that case, what exactly we need? I write my scenario and I just develop a prompt engineering for me and ChatGPT develops a prompt engineering for you or cloud develops a prompt engineering for you. The prompt engineering what you develop that you copy as a text or something like that. Same thing we provide to the cloud or provide to the meta whatever I told you. So it will develop the entire software for you. Even if you do not understand HTML, nothing to worry. You do not understand cascading strategies for the big pages, nothing to worry. You do not understand the JavaScript, which is just like the making it live or making it interactive, nothing to worry. So develop, put it there and click it there, run it, and show me the output. It is there, which I developed, I can show you. Now tell me, pharmaceutical things, you are having a number of things to stimulate other things. That will be using, I think, some hits are beginning. For generating the content, generating software, and generating all the things, it is easy for us using all the things. So, like that, we can use a number of AI tools for developing the pedagogical tools and basic research AI in drug discovery, then advanced research, applied AI practices, all the things we can do. Then the teaching practice come here. The active learning frameworks here. The left-hand side of yeah. The first one is the problem-based learning, PBL. Second one is the team-based learning, TBL, and the flipped classroom. Fourth one is the competence-based or CB. What exactly we do in the problem-based learning? The students define the objective, research, and apply therapy knowledge collaboratively. That is the problem-based. They identify the problem, they try to work on that one, they gain knowledge, they collect information, try to do something there. In the team-based learning TBL, here readiness assurance, the group of application exercises, builds the interprofessional decision-making skills. That is learning in group. While you do a project, also doing some part I contribute, somebody contributes, or some of the somebody does, and I do, or existing things somebody studies. Then the flipped classroom, your pre-classroom videos delivery, it is the synchronous time for clinical reasoning, debate, and case applications. Like that, the competence-based, you are having the progressions that align to SCP, CAP outcomes, things like that. Then you go to the next one, sir. The simulation and interprofessional education. We go for the simulation modality. Actually, I have supposed to finish by 11 o'clock. Okay, no problem. So these are the simulation modalities and the interprofessional education. This I will be leaving to you. Some people they can work on this thing also. And as a pedagogical tools we can use all the AI tutoring and chatbots we can use, and AI driven assessment also we can do. Adaptive learning platforms where materials will be available for the students, they can go for the advanced studies. And the key difference we find between our students and students of some universities of national importance is that they go for study. But in our case, what we say in the class, what a teacher speaks in the classroom, that is valuable for them because they have never gone for the advanced study. They know nothing about them. I will tell you sharing my things while I was studying intermediate science in Bhadrak College. That is in Bhadrak. Before us, it was a PU system because I completed matriculation in 1978 and intermediate science I completed in 1980. Our back, I think the Mohan Samal great politician now, you are the BDP, Popular Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. Before that, there was no BJP. It was the SFI, Student Federation of India, usually sponsored by the Chinese people and all things. people they sponsor, they win the election by money and muscle power. The first time the ABD came to power in our college, so that's that I tell you. Those time I was there in a hostel. The hostel is sponsored by the Monica team. So many good hostels are there. Hostel is just like program in colleges. So I was careless because exam oriented some things are before the exam I worry. When I entered the hostel, I found somebody seriously doing something. What the hell you are doing now? Class is not started. Before the class start, they have completed the first year mathematics. What the hell you are doing? Who taught you all the things? They are laughing. They are not telling you anything. Before the actual class starts, they completed the first year mathematics. That means the first year is completed, the second year mathematics, physics, science is completed. And they qualified NID, I was the person to see the help. And what I want to say you, the key difference is that in the top IITs, NITs, and institution and university of national importance, the students have given sufficient reference, infrastructure, and materials. They go for advanced study. When you go for advanced study, you have some queries. You understand, try to understand, try to ask some questions. From last time you listen from me, it's just like a Bible, whatever I say, we are just a rocket running also. Yes, this true, because my professor is telling you never tell it. Like that, we have the AI literacy curriculum, virtual reality, augmented reality simulations are there. So this is the part I think, even if it is not new, but this implementation is new to so many environment. If you need one here, I will request one of my students to complete regional learning. So from that, just in the form of some WhatsApp. Then the predictive analysis, then the basic research AI and drug discovery. AI-driven drug discovery pipelines are there. That is the target identification using these things, GNNs. Then the molecule generation, the virtual screening, lead optimization, and the preclinical predictions. These are the things you please refer. And key AI methods in pharmaceutical research. That is the graph neural network, taking it is part of computer science. Then the transformer model, variational autoencoder, diffusion model, convolutional neural network again. So you know in the convolutional neural network, it's just like the part we are using the deep learning. Clear? Then you understand because medical people they clear understand the neural, artificial neural, then the reinforced learning, the three type of learning are there. So reinforced learning is the last one. So these are some of the methods we use. Structural biology and predictive modeling here also, you'll find some 200 million plus protein structures predicted, 99% accuracy on GHP protein targets, 190 plus countries accessing the database by 2021 year. This is the structural biology. So the deep QSAR and virtual screening that is checked there. So this is the basic thing. While you are going for this advanced research clinical AI, you find drug repurposing. I think the word also is new to me sometimes, and the clinical trial optimization, formulation design, you refer all the things. And percentage also reduction of the cost, you can see here 60%. The applied AI in pharmaceutical practice, clinical decision support CDSS, and the oncology, that is the pharmacy AI, robotics, dispensing and automation, medications adherence AI, AI guided therapeutic drug monitoring, drug interaction prediction. Then coming to the ethics, regulations, and future direction. There is the algorithm bias. This is the explainability, XIAI, regulatory frameworks. These are the some of the things and future direction we can find here. So I hope things are over and if you just before. Can you start the next slide for 2 to 3 minutes before we? Okay. I'll take the last 3 minutes. Go to the so This is the demographic catalyst. You can find it here in our Reclaiming Global Leadership NEP 2020 and the Future of Indian Pharmacy. Same thing, transforming pharmaceutical education to Indian knowledge systems and artificial intelligence. You find 1 in 5 global youth is Indian. It is the field of science, technology, medicine, engineering. And millions of STEM graduates are there, science, technology, engineering, and medicine produced annually. So this is the median age and the log of GDP per capita. And this historical interruption, you find it there how the Macaulay system spoiled us and the evolution of Indian education architecture. Then you see our education policy 68, 86, 20, 20, rebuilding the cognitive staircase 5334. Then higher education engineering agility. As I told you that academic credit, academic bank credit, multiple entry exit, and global integration. What I am telling you that at the right side bottom you can find something that is the notebook LN. I have not prepared, I have not time. Given the content, requested the notebook LN to generate all things. It has generated. I do not know how is the diagram. I have given the content, everything is generated out of that. So that is the beauty of here that you can apply in this. Then the fifth matrix, pedagogy to core objectives and languages, because now our focus is on mother tongue up to the primary education. The convergence policy meets pharmacy. It is starting from this Ayurveda and all the things to NIP 2020 and the contribution of Charak, Sutta and lot of things. You can see the botanical blueprints 49,000 years ago also. People, no, please keep all the things, keep pages. Next. Yeah, there. Then you can see and the root of modern Indian drug discovery. So it is combining Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, Yoga, and one naturopathy like that, homeopathy. And 1972, they gone for this anti-thyroid, 76, anti-depressant, 88. All the things are there for your area. And you see an unbroken scientific link. Can you trace that component in the right hand side? Professor P.C. Rai, Professor Chandra Rai, is one of the renowned chemistry, and his book is introduced in European countries and American. If somebody studied chemistry, Sony Bal, some Sony Tuli like that, some book is there available for us. But our book, what is written by Professor P.C. Rai, most of the European and American countries also they are using. We do not know. Thank you all. If you have any queries, 1 or 2 minutes, you can take it. Okay. Next 1 2 minutes open for any questions for me. I'll try to answer. I don't know. I think this. So, let me thank you all. Thank the principal sir and also other organizing committee member. And thank you all. You are listening to me because from the beginning I understand what will be telling to you, will be answering, or will be doing, I don't know. But I tried. Thank you.
And now, thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request the chairperson for this session, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Sahu, sir, to further proceed and felicitate. Please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, sir. Please. Thank you, Professor Turaman Jana, Principal, RIT, for enlightening us on the topic transforming pharmaceutical education through Indian knowledge system and artificial intelligence. A NEP 2020 perspective. Sir has enlightened us on the flexibility and skill-based learning. Instead of going after foreign or Western pattern of study to memorize certain things, to serve for colonial systems that are emphasized on that. Instead of to go for a skill-based study. So thank you, sir, for providing us the knowledge for rediscovering Indian education system. Indian Ayurveda, Indian medicinal practice are already been developed. As a pharmaceutical science student or researcher or faculty member, you can find out new things related to Ayurveda and you can grow in this field. Thank you for providing knowledge regarding multidisciplinary study. Multidisciplinary study which will help you a lot. Thank you, sir, for attending us in this regard. Now I request audience, if you have any questions, we'll get going.
Actually, I want to make one software. Those calculating detail. So this platform is the
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for developing general software. It is easy for everybody because now AITMs are there. But if you want a special software for that one, definitely you have to consult the software developer. Some people are there. No. But it is general time and tell you that you can go for prompt engineering, what exactly you want. What is your problem? What exactly you want and what is the function you want to put it there. So some test you write, maybe one paragraph that you move to ChatGPT or Claude to write what I am telling you that prompt engineering. Then prompt engineering, what you wrote, that you upload as a file and ask them to develop the software. Only that you can use Claude, then you will give the reference of that one, or I can give you for the letter. So initially it is free for some of the artificial intelligence, but that if you develop that deployment is also important because suppose you want to develop something using PHP MySQL, PHP the front and MySQL using there is not that easy because always somebody have a knowledge of PHP MySQL from computer science background because you need an application software like exam. It's the exam. Once you install that one, so these things in that folder is to deploy in the SP folder. So you have to install the database there in the MySQL, it is included with that one. You have to get the database, you have to get the files, that means your tables, and that's some sample that you have to put in there. But deployment will work. So anyway, if you need something from our side, inside, if you talk with me, and I will share with my number which are also lying about your number. It is possible that I will come around and help you to your question.
I will say in the
Thank you. Any other questions?
Any more question? From audience?
Thank you.
Now I would like to request our Dr. Sudhir Kumar Sausar and LMB. I would like to request our principal madam, Sarani, and our next speaker also, Dr. Rakesh Pathak, and my friend Rakesh ji also. Rakesh bhai, you also please come. And Uma sir and Ishwar sir. They joined to felicitate our speaker, Professor Gunamani. He joined to felicitate. Please come. No, no, please come. Please come. We'll be happy to felicitate. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time and journey. Now I take opportunity to invite the next speaker and resource person of this scientific session, Dr. Rakesh Kumar Pathak, to please come on the dais and occupy the chair. Rakesh sir. Presentation will arrange. And actually happy to welcome our Rakesh sir with a floral welcome. So please sir. I request Mr. Adil, our assistant professor of this institution, to introduce our resource person. Please. Then after we will start this session with our resource.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to everyone. It's my great honor and privilege to introduce Dr. Rakesh Kumar Pathak, Associate Professor, Department of Chemical Sciences, ISER, Paramkour. Dr. Pathak earned his PhD from Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay in 2006 to 2011 under the guidance of Professor C.P. Rao. After that, he joined Nanotherapeutics Lab at the University of Georgia as a postdoctoral fellowship, contributing design, synthesis and therapeutic application of pro-drug polymeric NPS and mitochondrial target formulation for treating the various cancer. In 2015, Dr. Parker joined Ohio State University and received the prestigious California postdoctoral fellowship. This fellowship facilitated the transition from postdoctoral fellow to an independent researcher. In 2017, he became an assistant professor in Department of Chemical Science and currently working as an associate professor in IJEP, Parampur, where he currently establishing a laboratory of a biological chemistry, nanomedic medicine. Dr. Pathak's research focused on the conversion of a synthetic chemistry, biology, and nanotechnology within the broader realm to the traditional bio nano-organic chemistry. Thank you, sir. Thank you to be with us. And a great warm welcome to you. Thank you.
So it's not as you can set the breakfast. You don't have pleasure. Is higher. Okay. I think we can have a quick gap if we want to have. We've been listening a lot, right? Great talk. So, I want to have an interactive session to make sure that reaching to you, I'm helping you out what I know. And, that's the aim of ISO. It seems like some of the slides he already showed to the AI slides. So I skip them. Okay. So just in our spaces for yes. It's full. Okay. Yes, space or what? Because space is less. No. Anyway. Okay, so meanwhile it is happening. Thank you for the nice introduction. And I have a habit of moving around, but I think it's here only. So I'm just here. Okay, that will be great. All right, so I always say I'm a chemist by training, but my heart is in pharmacy because my work actually the whole application is toward pharmacy, pharmaceutics, and then said that in my second postdoc I was at Ohio State University. I worked in Department of Pharmacy, School of Pharmacy, and the School of Pharmacy has different departments: pharmaceutics, pharmacology, like big building, and an animal house. And that's where I started doing some science on animals, the first ones, and that is being continued. And we have a new facility. Actually, we are able to the pharmacy fraternity of Mahapo. We are using Roland Institute of Pharmaceutical Science animal facility, and that's where we are, publishing really good publications. Some of them are actually some of the patents. So I'm very happy to interact in my lab. I joined Balrampur in 2017. 17, I came in Balrampur, and then people were kind of skeptical. My lords, to Balrampur. It's a small place, and we have just come from US. And they're thinking, okay, maybe there were some reasons he has to come down. But then eventually our institute is coming up. It's in near to Lodina. Many of you know. I'll show you some of the pictures once it is uploaded. But our institute aims to outreach to the people who actually wanted to have interest in science. And that's where my interest comes in the intersection of chemistry and biology, more of pharmaceutical. And I'm going to show you some of the examples what we are working on to tackle this repurposing of the drugs and how chemists and pharmacists can get together to tackle some of the problems. Okay, and of course I have some AI-based slides, couple of them which we already showed. I was thinking to delete them, but you're so beautiful audience, I'm trying to explain what I do. My purpose is to maybe I can convey what I'm doing. I'm sure that will help you, and maybe you will be able to write some project, or maybe you will be able to collaborate with me, get some training, send you a map of visiting faculty, working my lab, no problem. So that's the whole purpose. This interaction. I will this copy now. Yes. Take it out. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Like 150. Like 150. Can you cover? Yeah. We'll make it fast. Okay. So I have tried to listen also. This other mistake. All right, I think it's up. Thank you. Let me see if it's moving. Okay. All right. So this is our campus, the first design, right? It's on the way of Bengal. You have beach. That's how students can enjoy. So this is at this stage. It was started in 2016, right? All buildings have already come up, and we had a transit campus at government ITI in Bangalore. Now we are almost there. Are little bit, labs and students. So let me quickly go to my work. Like we work at the interface of chemistry and biology, where we have, as I said, chemistry. Like we make molecules, nano formulation, then in house using mouse facilities. And then we utilize the method for nanomedicine. How many of you nanomedicine? I think many of you might be using in your practice. Right? What do you do for nanomedicine? What kind of material you guys use? Which branch covers that? Pharmaceutics. Any pharmaceutics here? So what kind of material you guys use? Yeah. Yeah, which kind of polymer? Yeah. So, like you use lipids, right? And what is that one thing you need to take care when you design or manufacture? Something which is related to the toxicity, right? Their approvals, the material need to be biodegradable. Exactly. Yeah. So those materials, thank you. So those materials you can utilize, those are known as an excipient, they can stabilize your formulation in a better way. But as a chemist, we have our job to make new materials. If one more level of filament, we can make new material which can have new IP. Have to write said that what people develop in intellectual. You sell that intellectual in a heavy cost. Somebody has said GPT, right? So the slides which were generated, I'm not going to show some slides. It cannot be generated by free. You have to take it $20. I have that subscription. So I mean, people will have that subscription. Then only they generate. So what people have done? Just they have developed the intellect. So FDA approved polymers are there. Somebody has developed over the year. People are developing. People are using them. Till now we are using. So at the chemist, our duty is to make new materials which may be biocompatible, which eventually can be IP of our Indian government. Right? And then at the same time, when we develop, we need to test them because you cannot just wait for a pharmacist person to test it. So in our lab, we make it, we test, and then at least we give out a good publication and say, oh, this is something new, please test. And that's where at least one prototype we have already made, and if somebody is interested, they can make it. The cost will be very minimal. It is not being protected by a foreign company. So that is the purpose of our lab. That's where we require chemists and other people. All right, something AI. Don't mind this. You can see the similarity. So what I did is I gave some prompt that I'm doing for this lecture. This is the theme of that. So give me something which I can cover. Okay, simple. What it gives is something which I am also using. Like how many of you using AI? Right? For what purpose are you using AI? My wife uses AI for answering many times to Amazon questions. She's so fond of AI. If we have any conversation, she can share that also. So AI is very useful, but as a faculty, how we can navigate to use AI? Why we should use it? The question is, students are using AI. Right? If students are using AI, if faculty is not using AI, then there is a conflict. Some of the senior professors can say no, in human intellect cannot. This is true. But then the paradigm is changing, right? Things are changing. We cannot be old teachers how it used to be. I mean, they are really great, but we have to sit according to what our generation is sitting. How many of people like of age of 15 they're using the mobile, all this data. The geo has become millionaire, right? Why? Because of there is AI tool to catch what this person like. Have you encountered when you scroll down, eventually you get those reels according to your choice. अच्छा वाला reel, गंदा वाला reel. What you are scrolling, it comes according to your choice. They are watching you every time. Right? This is the artificial intelligence. Nobody is feeding. Nobody is going to feed that it is going to happen. So, definitely, as a intellect, human mind, we need to be at par with what our kids are doing, what our students are doing. So that way, I have also put myself into that boat. Using AI just to keep me fresh with the knowledge. So I would recommend that we can use AI for verification, accountability, because you have some data, but you need to have that knowledge. It is correct or not. So that way one can use and AI can help accelerate your work. Let's say you have a format of SCRB, now it is ANLF, and then you need to fill out your details like a CV. In many places, they have a weird way of, okay, you fill out the biodata in this format. It used to take a lot of time earlier. You know, last year I was in the US for 1 year visiting fellowship. I had to write a whole night I was awake. For 2 days I worked, used it very effectively because there are some tasks which is not really intellect. You can just fill in data, you can make your CV, you can collect, recollect, rearrange, right? So those tasks certainly we can explore, but again you need to have, control of it. So this kind of things we can quickly escape. So of course, literature certainly you can do, you can have a gap finding, and you can have a project design, you can data thinking, but everything has to be checked, right? Your prompts are very important. You cannot just write. Uh, you have started. Okay, let's write what kind of prompt we have. This is one example of prompt. Like design 30-minute classroom activity for everyone students. On AI assisted literature review for anti-guess and productivity, if you give this mark, then say if you learning outcomes, what are the learning outcomes going to be? Three discussion questions, one verification task, and two break on what basis you're going to check the students. Within 1 hour of your class, you taught, you also took a verification from them what they have learned. Kind of effective learning you can achieve. What you have to do is, of course, you have to get for your class 3 hours you have to get. Whenever I teach in a class, 2-3 hours minimum. I always say that you always say you are teaching a new course. Of course, I am teaching the same course, but I need 2-3 hours for preparation because I need to be wise. I need to feel like I have all the questions, knowledge on them. Nobody. But when you go for a class, you need to prepare for it. But when you do those exercises, it may help you listen. Okay, so that is something which you can enhance your skills. And then of course there are certain responsibility if you're using AI. One thing is privacy. Right? You get something, somebody's notes, somebody's data, don't upload it. Because once you upload it, it's gone to some US or Vietnam. Okay, so please try not to upload that. That's something very important. And AI, one thing is you might have put something on AI. AI will never say, "Oh, you are bad," or this is not. AI will always be like a good friend because AI knows that the moment AI says that it is not the critics. AI says critics, you will not use. So AI will always be positive towards you. Diplomatically, they will try to say you. Okay. So that is one thing you have to be very careful. Next part is hallucination. What is that? Hallucination means that you going to get some references. They look like real references, but they're not real references. When you click, they are going somewhere else. Okay, so you need to verify whatever data you are getting. And for the accountability you are using, so you are accountable. So you need to be very careful. All right. So now I come to my research. I don't know how much time I have. Okay. So I work on cancer and specifically developing new products and employment. So I'm sure all of you are knowing that what are the problems and now quickly I will show you that this is US data. You see the estimated new cases, which is in May 30% and 10% for one of the two top cancers, right? Estimated there, just have seen for May. Prostate is not on the top. Okay? Keep this in mind. Likewise, female breast is on top. This is incident data. This is reports. But what is the top? Lung and bronchs. Anyone can tell why it is so? This is just a general data. There are multiple factors for that. One factor is awareness. Another factor is the research which has gone to these two cancers, breast cancer and prostate cancer. This is the US perspective, the India perspective. This is Indian perspective. You see, for male, you have lip oral cavity cancer. Now, there are many reasons for it. One of the reasons is good cover. Right? And another one is colorectal cancer, which is increasing heavily. Like many of your known people you might have heard that this colorectal cancer. This is particularly male, very different from the US. Okay. Now, the incidence in female, which is opposed to cervical cancer. Nowadays we have vaccines available to take age of 45. So this is just a background I wanted to give. Quickly I will move into it. So ultimately, when we remember the numbers out of these 8 billion population of the world, right? How many people are there? In 2022 global estimate, 20 billion new cancer cases are there. Out of that, 9.7 million cancer deaths are there. So half of the people. Okay, and when I come to the number here, for the diagnosis system, you have 2 to 3 new people are diagnosed per 1,000 people which are being tested, and deaths are happening again to 1%. So almost like a 50% things are there. That kind of give us a motivation to put our effort to do research in this area. So what are the treatment available? Surgery, radiation, chemotherapy. This is one of the case where it can be healed by surgery. You can remove it because it is outside. But if it is pancreas, you cannot remove it. What has to be done? You have to do radiation therapy or you have to do chemotherapy. And I'm not expert on radio, I'm not expert on surgery, but I can contribute in chemo perspective. So these are the chemo drugs which generally utilized in the hospital. And you can see one of the very powerful. That's kind of my domain. Being a chemist, we develop this based products. So how chemotherapy works? How many of you know? Chemotherapy kills fastly dividing cells. Kind of targeting also. Cancer cells are dividing very fast. So it means their DNA will open up. When DNA is getting open, this platinum drug goes and bind there. That's the targeted ability. Okay. Now, this is the cisplatin, which was not like people have made cisplatin and tested. This was secondary discovery. Okay. I mean, I have slides that I can show you. This is a scientist who has discovered this one. Very interesting story. But let us understand how cisplatin works. It is. Okay, this is the molecule of cisplatin, right? A nice planar molecule, and it's going to go into the cell soon, diving into it. That's the DNA, right? So when it enters into the cell, you will see there will be transformation of this molecule. So this is kind of like a cell membrane. Okay. And you see there's something which is taking in and it's written active transport. Right? And there is also one pathway where it is going passive. What is being active transport and passive transport? Yeah. Like you have on border. Border somebody is helping you legal way. Right? Another one is jump from the fence. So both ways can go inside the cells. And when it is going inside cells, it is finding its partners. Their partners are particularly the guanine N7 position. N7 where it binds. Particularly, the moment it binds, you see that chlorides will fall off. Okay. You will get 2 positive charge, negative charge of DNA, positive charge of complex get attract each other. They find the partners. Now DNA is bonded with platinum. Now platinum, once bonded with DNA, DNA is no more the original DNA. You have so much sensitive system in your body that you will sense that this DNA is faulty DNA. Another protein will come and capture it, and that's how the cell will give signal. Oh, we are hijacked. Let's die. That's called the process of this cell. Right? So if it is going to multiple cells will die. That's how we can achieve cancer burden reduction. Okay, so okay. Thank you. So this is what I was telling this scientist discovery. Quickly, I will tell you how it was very fascinating story. You know, the research, the science can only happen when you correlate. You cannot just go in one direction. This is biophysics. Biophysics has seen how the metal turning, देखा the lower, if you put on magnet in childhood, if you play, the metal turning will go here and there. So when he has put this metal turning onto the magnet, he saw this pattern. This pattern he resembled release cell division when the mitosis. So you were having this basic question. If I get a chance and I have a lab, I like this. He tried, right? He did one simple experiment, and in this simple experiment, what he did electrolysis. Simple experiment. He has taken all this media where they can grow bacteria. Bacteria has DNA, so they will have this process. The simplest thing he did, and then whatever bacterial ingredients were there, and he could actually do that experiment. Try to understand what is the effect of electricity on bacterial growth where the DNA is getting divided. Right. So after that, he saw some unusual things. He saw before the picture was like this, right? And after, when his cells started dying because of this electricity, and then he stopped the light, then he saw the cells are not actually dividing in more number, rather they are getting elongated, right? So he saw these two contrasts, and then what happened, why it is happening, ultimately they figured it out. Cells have stopped dividing. Why cells can stop dividing? If their DNA is not dividing. So something has been formed institute, and that has stopped the cells dividing. The DNA has been hijacked. So then ultimately, of course, after 2-3 years of research, they figured it out what was there in media. Right? They found that I have used electrode which was made of platinum. I have used oxygen, I have used sodium chloride in a growth medium. Everything reacted and are making something platinum compounds. This platinum compound might be responsible for killing it. Right? 1968 and all, it was a cool thing. Immediately within 2 years it got FDA approval because it is killing some cells actively DNA, right? And it was jackpot for that university. Nowadays, if you do research, it takes like 12 years because that time it was not that much, immediate. But fortunately, it was so effective in treating solid tumors. Right? That was the serendipitous discovery of this platinum. Okay. Moving ahead, tell some story about this and making our products. Why do we want to make new molecules from synthetic when it is very cool? It is having effectivity. It will also have some problem. कुछ अंत है तो उसको drawback भी होगा, right? It is like that. So this compound is very potent, but it has side effects. You might have seen many people they get immediate loosen of their hair, nails, their sense. So it has a lot of side effects. And then now the cancer is evolving. You might have heard that but the immune cancer has grown again. So there is a problem called resistance. Metastasis. The cancer is originating from lungs, it has gone to brain tumor. So there are many problems associated with that. And then there are serious side effects. So in order to tackle that, we try to manage it. And of course, this is a mechanism I'm not going into it, heading to our development. So what we can do is, on chemistry basis, we can modify the cisplatin into a transformed structure where the cisplatin is oxidized to form another two groups. And these X group can be the molecules of our interest. Like here, I have used aspirin. How many of you use aspirin? Aspirin is good for heart. You take it anyway. Right? When I was in University of Georgia, they have this over-the-counter drugs in proper hearts. So I was curious, I want to test this platinum with aspirin. Okay. And I kind of searched on my mobile immediately what is the structure of aspirin. Everything found out aspirin is having acetyl salicylic acid. Is there, I can modify my cisplatin and form this platin A. Okay. Initially I gave this name as S-platin, right? But then all people were laughing because I started with S. So then usually, we change the name to platin A. And this molecule was, immediately synthesized. We did study on different cell lines and we could publish this work. And immediately our publication, another publication came with the name of aspirin from China. So I was just lucky for 15 days. Okay, so that's like 16, 17 in fact, you could publish it. But it was just luck that we could have before they could publish. Then another molecule we made it relatively. Likewise, what is happening? We're making molecules which are called prodrugs. They can give rise to drugs in the same concentration. You're releasing aspirin, you're releasing cisplatin. Why do you need? You can have the requirement for that. Why do we take aspirin? And they also act as an anti-inflammatory drug. Anti-inflammatory drugs reduces the chance of metastasis. Cancer, going from one stage to this. That's how this population really helped us. And this patent was taken by a company and got so that's the recent side. So of course this picture has changed a little bit. But anyway, this is all formulation we make, and you can see this is albumin as a carrier, and these are different particle formulations. So you make a product. You don't know whether this product will have good bioavailability or no carbohydrates behavior. So if you want, you might have to put it to some. All right. So this recent study, this paper is going to come within 3-4 days, under 2 polymer called fixed flow pattern. So here we have modified this with both of them are FDA approved. This is FDA approved and cisplatin is also FDA approved. When it gets cleaved, it gives rise to cisplatin and probenecid. I'm not going into the detail, but about what I'm saying is that you have changed this cisplatin pharmacological property entirely different, but it is having the same effect, right? And it is called stressless release of cisplatin and probenecid because there is no other test, right? What you're getting is cisplatin and probenecid to start with, and what is releasing is both of them. Okay, so that design is based on chemistry, and we could actually demonstrate that it is accepted in the Journal of Medicinal Chemistry, which is quite respected of ACS. And this is of course the NCI-60 data in USA they accepted. Like the doxorubicin was studied by them, and they take the potential and study their facility. I'm taking this data. This is the work which I have done in our Institute of here. So they give us a house where we take their animals to approvals, we conduct the annual work. It's really possible because of their health. Our students are very motivated. They go and they give those, and a lot of hard work is involved, but it is doable. It is not something. So I'm just trying to say that the product which we have made is actually less toxic than cisplatin. All the mice are dying here compared to cisplatin, which are very toxic. Okay, so this is something called CIPN. How many of you are aware of CIPN? Chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy. Basically, the senselessness of chemotherapy. When people take chemotherapy drugs, sometimes they lose sense of thought or peripheral systems doesn't work. Okay, so this we tested in mice that our product actually is better and it is having symptoms similar to control. It is having all the senses compared to uh, the system is getting a lot of toxicity. So that was all right. So this is pharmacokinetics. Of course, you guys are champion of that. So if something is wrong, please point out. We found that it is increasing certain parameters on weight, but it is better than many way. And then this is the preliminary study where we have done reducing the tumor burden. And I think this is the first time in Bangalore actually put established. It was 2 years period tumor. The mice here are so immune that the system is so strong. We injected many times cancer cells, very, very dangerous cancer cells, the rejected tumors. We used to get this pain from but that strain was not good. So now we are getting from ILS, nicer things are better. And we could create tumors, we can test them. So now it's stabilized, but it took a lot of time. So of course this work is going on. This is another study I just quickly that we have developed another product. This is called PEDAGOGY. These are again two drugs are there. Of course, this is not a different type of program, but I shown in previous slide. This is something related to the kinetic parameters. Which one goes far? As you see in the video, what was happening? Those two chlorides are falling off. Now we have controlled how these two chlorides will fall off. So chloride we have another group, and then we have modulated their binding end. That's how you can make better. If it fall off little late, then you can have little less. Because if it is falling very fast, it is actually creating toxicity to somewhere else as well. So it's very so that is something we have done in this one. And of course, this is study we are doing with IAC in Kolkata. These are different programs. And this is another interesting molecule, natural product pricing. How many of you heard of it? Pharmacology, people use those molecules very often. You have this pricing, you expect it and make formulation. And what you intend to have is we have made this with metal. This is a active research we do. We call it as metal drug conjugates. Metals are not all metals. At permissible limit, these metals will have a good balance. So we conjugate the drugs with metal ion and then use them as a delivery because they are very strong connection. Once they move in the biological system, because of their interaction with the biological system, they will reach out. They will take out those molecules. Drug molecule, metal will be separate. So what we have achieved? We have achieved basically the delivery aspect. Okay. So that's something new which we do here, metal drug conjugate. And of course, these are the future directions taking because I don't have time, so I'm not going into deep, but we can discuss in person. There's another area which is too much biology to don't bother about. This is the recent research which I found in the US. There's something called immune activation. Right? you heard about a lot of yogic things. Here we used to do yoga or meditation. Those people who does they have less chance of become a great problem. That's true. But the practical thing is we cannot. There's so much either in our own lifestyle, responsibilities, as a teacher or the mother, father, or boyfriend, girlfriend. System. In this tax system, how do you maintain your health? It's up to you. It's very difficult to realize, right? So this is one of the research where we can activate our immune system. There are pathways. You can give some molecule which is a better and that white molecule is given a being like a vaccine, then it activates your immune system. Then it attacks on cancer cells to eradicate them. Okay, so that is the active research which is going on something called immunotherapy. We are combining this immunotherapy with chemotherapy or chemoimmunotherapy. Okay, that's the kind of active research which is going on. So don't worry about this mechanism, it is kind of very simple. So this is like a chemoimmunotherapy aspect. Recently we published this paper where you can have tumor cells and you can keep their cell there. If you have chemo and immuno together, you can achieve more. Okay, these are some structures. Don't bother about it. How you can eradicate tumors with less chemo because chemo is poison. Chemotherapy is basically poison. You are giving in a manner that it doesn't. So that's something which we are trying to do it. How many of you heard about practice? I'm asking because it's a lot of state is from India. There's a researcher from IIT Bombay. PhD. He has opened a company and we are producing CAR-T cells. And those CAR-T cells can be effective medicine to kill the tumors. So you can read about it. Giving you again, of course, it is very difficult to have a setup of CAR-T cell in a farm, but one can envision and one can try to eventually go and do the it's basically you take your cells and activate them. There are 3 cells in our body, and you activate them and put them back. So there are different types of medicines available in the market nowadays. Earlier they were like, oh, they not be successful because it's very difficult. It's not uniform. Every nanoparticle have inside. Now, still medicine is very successful. There are many medicine-based drugs out there. As such, there are a lot of FDA groups every time. Ultimately, what is the meaning of research on cancer? Can you see this graph and tell me what has happened? In male and female over the years, this would have been the real chance if the efforts would have not been put. Because of the research, we have averted these many cancers. So we need to continue to put our effort to reduce this burden and whatever the stage you are in the research. That's our aim. With this, I would like to acknowledge my team. We have a previous student and a previous student. Thanks to my collaborator. This is a real picture of Iceland Campus. Market beach areas. They are very, pristine beach. You are most welcome to visit Iceland. I'll give you my card. Most important thing is please visit, interact with our activities, and get utilize from this world class facility which is there and you know. Thank you very much. No.
Thank you so very much, Rakesh sir. In fact, we are more interested to listen more from you, but it is our fault that due to the late busy sessions running, uh, so it is limitation that I will have only. It will not be out of time to announce now also. My sincere request, all the participants, respected dearest teacher friends. So tomorrow we will start this session right at 10 so that it will be good. Always taking time is a very essential practice. So stick to time. So your presentation so nice, I can tell. So to lead and to felicitate you, request my friend and colleague, Professor Prashant Kumar Chaudhary sir, to please, will be chairperson for this session to continue and interact with the delegates for the queries and then go for the registration.
Good afternoon, one and all. Thank you, Dr. Rakesh Pathakji. Really, I was sitting there and enjoying the session, but due to time limitation, we had to wind up this session. So actually, everybody was eagerly talking. He was very eagerly talking about his research experience in the field of cancer chemotherapy and the use of this therapy, platinum-based chemotherapy treatment, all that. And he started with a very good note of the use of AI and why we teach us to use that AI. And we mentioned to the students' expectation that was really nice to start with, and he shared his valuable experience. And on behalf of this organizing committee and royal family, I would like to thank you for inviting all of us to this wonderful facility, Pfizer, which is nearest to our stations. And we will look forward, and we are really expressing our gratitude that you are doing so much wonder towards our field we are supposed to do also. So, and also say all my colleagues that let's lend our hands to the faculty and we will do some wonders and he is doing already and serving our profession. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and giving us your valuable time. Though we really wanted to continue your session, but senior speaker is already there and we are really short of time. So with this, I request any participant to put any question. I think one or two questions. Anybody particularly pharmacology faculties who are really interested to carry on this research on chemical.
Thanks for asking the question. Your phosphomide, PEG. So you're saying how we can make a formulation?
The fall of fluoride and the DNA. How's that?
So the cyclophosphamide is basically very old drug, you know, with this connection with what was you can read about it. It was utilized by let's say poisonous gas, then they take up okay in everything. But the mechanism is very well known. It forms you know this cyclic structure. It acts overnight. But your question is on formulation and how we can see formulation. Yeah, same mechanism. We bind with the DNA, not like retinol binding with potency, similar to that, but this is like a organic compound binding with the organism. It's a covalent.
Any more questions? If anybody has got this opportunity, you can take. Though we are short of time also. Anyone else? So if no more question now,
Thank you.
as already Dr. Pathak has already invited you all and we will share this contact and I hope you will be in touch with him.
Any queries? Now it's time for the presentation of Dr. Pathak.
Yeah, before this, I will take little 1 minute time, please. See, with lots of means it is a great opportunity to get resource persons like Dr. Rakesh Pathak.
We don't
Last time I met at Bilam. ପୂର୍ବରୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ମୁଁ 2-3 ଥର କୌଣସି ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମରେ ରାକେଶ ସାର୍ଙ୍କୁ ଇନଭାଇଟ୍ କରିବି ବୋଲି ମୁଁ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ୍ କରିଥିଲି କିନ୍ତୁ ସାର୍ ସେ ସୁଯୋଗରେ ଥିଲେ I contacted 2 times to invite as a guest but I could not get in but fortunately get this time either is at Barampur using the resource is our attitude. So then we came across him, so you can keep the contact number. I can send the contact number with his kind permission only in the FPT group. So ahead and when required, you can take his help and you can take his permission request to visit his either which a world class center. So get the maximum benefit. That is the most important of organizing this activities. Okay. So using of resource is only important. So with this, I would like to request our chairperson for this session, Professor Prasad sir, request Usha madam and Ghanshyam sir, Rajashri madam, to please come and felicitate to Rakesh Pathak. Professor Ghanshyam sir and Professor Rajashri madam, please.
Our symbol, Lord Jagannath, is for long. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. For the attendees. I'm happy to collaborate with you, answer your questions. I will give my phone number. We have to help, Baram. In future also we see your sure. I think our institute is 30 minutes away from here. Yes. And someday also we invite you. Yeah. I'm actually also being outreach and alumni, so I will also be involved in inviting many of the. It's on. Yes.
Hello.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Sorry, to be late. So now, can I start now, sir?
I'm more ready. More କିନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କର ପାର୍ଟିସିପେଣ୍ଟ ଡେଲିଗେଟ୍ ତାଙ୍କର
Immediately start, no problem, sir.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Up to 1:40-45 minutes.
I'll moderate. Just tell me at what time I have to go.
1:45.
Oh, fine.
Thank you so very much. So to start the session, to introduce about our resource person, the great person, that is Dr. G.P. Mohammed sir. Please go ahead and introduce to the audience.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to one and all present over here. It is my proud privilege to introduce our esteemed resource person, Professor Mohammed, who is one of the most respected personalities in the field of pharmaceutical sciences. Professor Mohammed sir is a postgraduate in pharmacy with doctoral degrees. He has more than 10 years of teaching and research experience. In addition, he has 2 years experience of working as National Technical Officer in WHO Country Office for India, looking after the essential drugs and Indian system of medicine. As a teacher, he mentored students at various levels, including successfully guiding 20 research scholars for PhD degrees. He received funding from prestigious funding authorities like UGC, ICMR, WHO, HAIAP, and EPA. He has contributed several books like what everyone should know about medicine, textbook of forensic pharmacy, textbook of clinical research, textbook of pharmacobusiness, textbook of hospital and preventive pharmacy, handbook of medicine and for pharmacists, community pharmacy and management, competency-based training manual for primary care pharmacists, and new practical manuals. He has widely engaged himself in community education in different states, including Odisha, and developed an audience for the recent news. He had his personal column, Know Your Medicine, in the New Indian Express newspaper. He continues contributing in Odisha Books and Science, Origin of Odisha. He has many publications like in the Botany International Journal, 82 National Journal, 344 popular articles to his credit. He has received awards like Acharya P.C. Ray Gold Medal, Pharmaceutical Scientist of the Year 2015, Pharmacy Teacher of Eminence Award, Best Academician Award, and Best Researcher Award. It has been actively associated with professional activities through Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Federation of Asian Pharmaceutical Association, FIP, International Society of Pharmacoeconomics, and Pharmaco Research. His passion is to educate the common man through his public talk, newspaper writing, and school education. He has widely travel and visited 15 countries and delivered more than 200 lectures in different forums. His industrial career, outstanding achievements, and unwavering dedication to pharmacy education, research, and healthcare are truly inspiring. His remarkable contributions have left a lasting impact on the academic and professional community. On behalf of everyone present here, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to Professor G.P. Mohanty sir. With great respect, I would request Professor G.P. Mohanty sir to kindly address the gathering and deliver your valuable session.
Sir, is it audible to you? Sir, we are audible to you. I'm Mohammed sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, can you please share your slides?
I'm trying. Let me see whether I'll be
Sir.
able to do that. How to share? I am not able to do it.
Sir, you can find the present now option is there, na, sir? In your screen, it is
Yes,
coming.
yes, yes, yes.
Just click there, sir, present now.
Okay. Then share screen.
Share screen, sir.
So
Click on there and
which one? Share screen.
share screen, sir.
So
Sir, you have opened your presentation, PPT. Yes, sir. Now
you
we
are
can
able to
see your
see.
screen.
You are
Yes, sir.
able to
We can
see.
see your. Yes,
Whether you
sir.
are
We
able
can
to
see your.
hear me.
Sir, we can see your screen.
Okay. You are able to hear
Now,
me.
yes, sir.
Yes.
So
Sir, you can now
please.
go for full screen. Full screen slideshow you can do.
Okay.
And now you can start, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, it is lunch time, and I
Thank
am
you.
standing in between your lunch and you. Friends, my first disclaimer comes: a teacher has asked to write essay on dog and what the child understood. And this is usual, whatever we tell as a teacher, many times student misunderstand. And the biggest job of us is anytime the biggest job is most challenging job is teach the teacher. And I am here now in that job. Teach the teacher. So please pardon me if and if you misunderstand me, it is my fault. Friends, the two quotes I want to put here: destroying a nation does not require the use of atomic bombs or use a long range of missiles. It requires only lowering the quality of education. Education is the most powerful weapon that one can use to change the world. So, with these two important quotes, which relates to education and educational institutes, I begin. Friends, we mostly, many times, and most of the time, we work in group, but always we have the feelings I have done the most of the work, but who is most important? Just see here, if the person does not make the engineer to reach there to service the air conditioner, so the people too, the other side who are standing, they're just standing in a, many times we say what they did do. So that is why we always have to see when we are working in a team, everybody is important. Friend, my presentation has this four features: the past policies and current national education policy. What are the salient features of the national education policy and reformation needed in pharmacy education? And the last one is things to ponder, means is a homework for you, not exactly the homework, but it is the intellectual ability for you to think. Friends, if we see the national education policy, it started in 1986, first policy in independent India, 1986, which is revised in 1992. And again, it is revised in 2009, where it made the right of children for free and compulsory education. And the new policy, the current policy, national education policy, is 2020. And the purpose of this 2020 policy, it is not that we always think of we have inherited so many things from the British and we will continue to, we should have our own thinking. And with that thinking, we should transform India as a global knowledge superpower. Friends, fundamental principle of this 2020 policy. So, what I am looking at, I'm this PowerPoints will be available with you. You need not worry about this. And what is important for us is no separation of art, science, curriculum, extracurricular activities. So that is one of the fundamental. And another fundamental is life skills. Many times we have only like saving skill, BLS, but the life other life skill which are important to us is communication, cooperation, teamwork, and resilience. I have just told you about the teamwork, and look at the communication. Communication is most important, and majority of our time goes on communication. Communication is not passing on information. Communication is not passing on information. Communication is the dialogue between two, and the other person properly understands. And especially this issue comes when in pharmacy practice we guide our patients how to take the medication. And not only that, if we look at the education in America, education in Australia, education in Britain, their education, why is so good? It is not that education is not good in India, but we do not give importance to communication. We just give importance to facts and figures. And their communication is very, that is why they are able to communicate in such a way we appreciate them, but we are not able to communicate to that extent. Friends, there is one more important thing that is coming is academic bank of credit, ABC. So that means this, just like our money, all the academic credential of the individual will be kept, and it can be any time we can see, we can share it. And third point is the teachers or the faculty members, they are the heart of learning of process. Friends, we are looking at education. All these days we have been talking about good teaching. I have taken a good class. I feel very happy. Yes, I have taken, but what about the learning outcome? So, teaching practice to the learning outcome is the now criteria. So if we have the academic bank of credit, one individual will have only whatever the academic credential he has. It starts with the student ID. So anywhere we can retrieve. So we have the issues where we can do this. It is yet to be implemented, but it has been started. We see DigiLocker, and in the DigiLocker, whatever the credential we have, not only the academic bank of credit, but whatever you want to put in the DigiLocker, which you can at any point of time see and say it anywhere. Prints, we always last several years we know only we have 10 plus 2 plus 3 system. 10 is school, then 2 higher secondary, and 3 is degree level, and then 2 years or 3 years is the master level. Like that it continues. But now school education is for 15 hours. School education is for 15 hours. And there is one more issue with this is three language formula. Three language formula means everyone has to learn three languages. It is still a big issue going on. Some states do not like the three language. Some states say the two language is enough. And all these days we have been talking of mother tongue, and now mother tongue is being replaced by home language. What we speak at home, that is the language with which we should give enough emphasis so that we can learn our subjects, because we are much familiar with the home language. The school examination will be at 3, 5, and 8th standard, but final board examination will be only on 10th and 12th. Undergraduate degree program will be of two types, 3 years or 4 years. So you can see here, after 1 year, if one is not able to continue study, diploma. If after 2 years one is discontinuing study, can get advanced diploma, and after 3 years can get the degree. And 4 years program is with research. Master program, it depends upon whether we are in 3 years or 4 years of undergraduate program. And from the master program, we can go to the PhD. But at the same time, those who have done the 4 years of degree program can also join the PhD. No need of doing master's program. And MPhil is to be discontinued. And many universities have already started discontinuing the MPhil. Friends, as we said, the teachers are most important component of every education system, and when we have teachers education, or primary school, high school, just think of why we do not have the teachers' education at higher level. Quality of university and the colleges, and always we have to see as new thing we have been talking about the universities and the colleges. It is not just creating employment, creating the students for employment, but they should be motivated in such a way they take part in progressive and prosperity of the nation. That means they can contribute substantially. And another thing is the multidisciplinary university and colleges will be established in every district of the country. And what we need to do as per the new policy that our institution should be a study destination. That means when so many good institutions are there, India will become a study destination. See, earlier Nalanda, Takasala universities, people were coming from other countries to study, but we are now running to go to other countries to study. So the new education policy is promoting the our ethos, our culture, and so that we'll create an echo in the country where our educational system will be valued by others and they will come to study in our country. So one of the biggest challenge we have is enrollment ratio. If we see 2018 data, 26.3% we have the enrollment, those who pass from higher education and go to the high school education to higher education, it is only 26.3%. And what the policy proposes that we should be able to have 50%. Again, trends, why we are targeting 2030? Because 2030 is a milestone. Why? Because what we call is the sustainable development goal. Worldwide, we have set different goals at 2030, and accordingly, we have also put our goal. And all the colleges will become autonomous by 2035. That is the proposal. Friends, the students are to be involved everywhere. So when the students are to be involved, how they can be promoted to participate in all activities, and that is where we, other than the class, we should have the club, various club, mathematics club, poetry club, science club. So here the students will be participating, and with that participation, the students will feel the part of the improvement, and the institution and the faculty, they will get lot of autonomy. And as of today, this autonomy does not exist much. Unfortunately or fortunately, that future will decide why we want a uniform syllabus for many of the program, and why we can't give that opportunity for the institution to develop their own curriculum based on their potential. And the government proposes for the National Higher Education Regulatory Authority that is yet to come, and the distance mode education should also be promoted, so that the learning will be lifelong. So the question is, we have people with different socio-economic background, and how we support them, especially those who are from the disadvantaged class, and what the government proposes in the policy. At least half of the student must get 25% scholarship, even in the private institution. So how this whole thing will come, that we plan to achieve, it should start with every institution. Every institution will have a institutional development plan. So this plan, every institution, irrespective of whether ours is graduating program or the master program only running, but it should have the institutional development. What we want to do, looking at the research, India spends very, very less, 0.69%, while some of the countries which the health, sorry, the our education policy shows that Israel spends 4.3% in research and innovation. So, what are the priority areas? Priority areas is climate change, population dynamic, biotechnology, digital marketplace, machine learning, artificial intelligence, societal challenge, clean drinking water, sanitation. So all these things should be our priority in higher education research. Friends, you have just been listening to a wonderful lecture on artificial intelligence. So, if we look at the artificial intelligence, who will teach this artificial intelligence? Yes, artificial intelligence or machine learning is must for everybody, and that has been incorporated into our syllabus, pharmacy syllabus. Who will teach that? Can pharmacy teachers teach artificial intelligence and machine learning? And the teacher student ratio should be 1 is to 10 to 1 is to 20, nothing beyond that. Friends, in the professional education, if we look at the professional education is little bit away from the national education policy. The engineering professional education is completely in terms of the national education policy, and their courses are designed without any issues. But when we look for other programs, like including pharmacy programs, it is not completely on par with our national education policy. But attempts have been made to incorporate some of the provisions. So, who will control this, govern this education, higher education? That is NHERA, the National Higher Education Regulatory Authority. This is to be framed. The regulatory systems, we have a lot of issues in accreditation, and if we see accreditation, especially in pharmacy education, if we see who is the accrediting agency, and my request to the young teachers, please design some lectures which can be shown in the YouTube, which can be shown in the SWAYAM platform. So where not only we get recognition, but the most many peoples get benefited. And usually SWAYAM platform, every college should have the opportunities, facilities to provide some system in the library where people can learn from the SWAYAM platform. So the what the higher education institute can do, the higher education institute, the first thing they have to do is the institutional development plan. It is not just the management decides the plan, everybody should be incorporated, everybody should be participating in developing the plan, and then we'll decide the roadmap how to achieve this. So, coming to the pharmaceutical education, I'm sure you are all aware of this, but the uniqueness of pharmaceutical education, which you will not find in any other field of education, we have basically fundamental diploma in pharmacy, bachelor of pharmacy, doctor of pharmacy, and all of them have the same entry point qualification. Nowhere in this world, the same entry point qualification, but different degrees. So, this is a unique opportunity for pharmacy to design the curriculum looking at the long term perspective. If we look diploma syllabus in 2020, B-Farm syllabus just revised in 2026, and PharmD syllabus revised or started not ever in 2008. So even after so many years, we fail to revise our curriculum as if no development occurred. Then look at the national institutes. We have NIPER, but the NIPER and the council are not in synchronizing mode. NIPER makes something different and pharmacy council something different. And even a situation comes, sometimes pharmacy council says that your degrees are not recognized because you have not taken the approval. So, but anyway, those problems are sorted out, but this should be synchronized. Teachers training and pay structure, you might have seen there is a wide variation about the teachers training, how many of the teachers or what percentage of teachers have undergone the teachers training. See, teachers training, it is not directly from the college or from the university we become the professor in the college without basic training. Basic training requires when it is required for the primary school teacher, and why it is not required at higher education. Pay structure, this is a big issue. Different colleges have a different, even the same state, we have the different structure. Look at the past scenario of the pharmaceutical education. Friends, we all know that pharmaceutical education started in Banaras Hindu University in 1938. But is it true? That was the British India. That was the British India. And there is one more state we joined later with India is Goa, and Goa started the pharmaceutical education much earlier than British India because Goa was ruled by Portuguese, and Portuguese were more advanced than the Britishers in medical education. Coming to the regulatory issues, we have the Pharmacy Act, we have University Grant Commission, AICT. Now, of course, only the Pharmacy Council of India is, and you know whether the pharmacy it should be treated as a course or it should be treated as program. And this there are a lot of confusion. Now look at this, whether pharmacy education is a health science or it is a engineering science. We say if the current new syllabus it says is industry ready, syllabus is made in such a way the outcome will be industry ready. That means engineering is the only we look at, not at the health science. And if it is the engineering science, AICT is probably a better body to look at that. So, friends, now few more minutes. This look at some of you probably has not looked at the National Pharmacy Commission. It is under circulation in WhatsApp. These that. Please look at the National Pharmacy Commission. When the the National Commission is already established with the passage of the bill in the Parliament, the Pharmacy Commission bill has not yet entered the Parliament. Medical Commission, Dental Commission, Nursing Commission, even the allied health profession, even the Indian system of medicine, everywhere it is commission. But why pharmacy still continues with the council? How pharmacy education differ from other professionals, we have already discussed. And who is going to teach AI or ML? So this is probably a big question. And if we are trained also, I am not sure whether our pharmacy teachers would be able to teach AI and ML. Friends, if we can teach AI and ML, then there is no need of specialization. So, past, present, and futures should be consistent, and we should not think in a myopic language. Thank you very much, friends. I think I'm delayed by 5 minutes. So, the last slide for is to thank you all for your patience hearing even at this time. And I quote, if in the recent past you have not discarded one of your favorite ideas or accepted a new one, check your pulse, you might beat it. Um, any questions, sir?
Sir, thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your. Thank you so much, sir, for your brilliant presentation. You are a brilliant person only. So presentation obviously will be brilliant only. And I hope that our audience might have got many things. Even this topic is very essential at the time being. All might have acquired good knowledge of presentation and then use it in their future. So now it is session for any queries by the audience. Anyone want to put any question? It's okay. Then after 1 minute. So any questions from the audience? Okay. Prashant will ask something.
Sir, namaskar, sir. One particular practical question that regarding this reality and this implementation of new syllabus. Keeping in mind the present scenario, the examination by different regional universities, will it be feasible to implement this within a very short span of time? Because we are getting the news that this new syllabus as per the agreement is going to be implemented. But being the syllabus person, what is your suggestion and maybe the lacunas we are implementing?
Sir, new syllabus has just released, and though it is said it will start at 2026, the admission, and after that only it will start. And once it starts, then only we'll come to know what difficulties we have. Otherwise, unless we start working, we'll not know what are the difficulties. It is very easy when a teacher tells something, but when we work out the problem, then we understand, yes, I don't have much idea on this. So we have to wait for some time to learn, yes, what are the difficulties we have in the line to achieve the real outcome of the pharmaceutical education syllabus.
Okay, sir. Thank you. What? You want to ask? Please. Professor, के अपना जरा सा interested to ask something. So,
No, Pastor. Namaste. Namaste, sir. Namaskar. Sorry, Kaju. Anu. Sir. No, not Anu.
Okay. Is it audible, sir?
Voice is not clear, sir.
Okay, okay. Now it's okay.
I don't know whether issue is with me. You are able to hear me or not?
Yeah.
But
We can hear you.
from that side, the voice is not clear.
Okay, sir. Just a
And my request is you can please use my email to communicate, and otherwise in the chat box you can give your namaskar.
It's okay, sir. Now,
Yes.
yeah. So, just I want to ask, what is the impact of NPC?
Yes, friends, you please read this. Anyway, Chaudhary sir, let me tell about the National Pharmacy Commission. It is too delayed. And why it is delayed? That is a big debate on this. But what I want is every one of us should read the National Pharmacy Commission draft. If we are able to read the draft, we'll have ideas. And definitely commission, see, all these dates, the Pharmacy Act was 1948. So that means the bill was made before independence. Then only it passed in the parliament after independence. Now the question is, at that time, situation of pharmacy was different. In 2026, pharmacy is different. So the Pharmacy Act is a colonial act. It did not have much understanding of what will happen after 75 years. So now the question is, with this national commission, the biggest issue is now anybody can become the Pharmacy Council of India president, because it is the regulation. PCI Act, sorry, Pharmacy Act says anybody can become president of Pharmacy Council of India, whoever is elected. But with Pharmacy Commission, it is not possible. It is online with National Medical Commission. So the government will appoint the president of the commission or the chairperson of the commission. And another thing is now clubbing the National Pharmacy Commission with that of the Indian System of Medicine Pharmacy. But there is separate division.
No. That integration is required, sir.
Definitely is required. Sir, when we are talking of who will become the drug controller of India, see, we say pharmacy qualified person will be the drug controller of India. But what the person is going to control about the medical device, about the blood bank, how, to what extent we teach this to a pharmacy graduates? So when we are able to, why not the others? And integration is a must, in my opinion.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice presentation. And it is too late for you also to take the lunch. Just so much thankful to you for your kind presence and support all the time. And my personal fear, every time whenever I requested anything for you, never you have said no. Very happy and instantly you have accepted my request. So I am so happy and blessed feeling. Thank you so very much. So in the virtual mode, we cannot honor you physically, but on behalf of this organizing committee and the royal family, we are happy to present this small memento is a token of love and affection to you. So this I will send through post. This I will post you, sir. Thank you so very much. And we all are so much blessed to listen to you. Thank you so very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar, namaskar.
We'll end this session. Later I'll talk to you over. Namaskar. Thank you, sir. We'll close this session. And okay, thank you.